What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, Funky Bunch? Listen, y'all are in here by the hundreds of thousands this evening. Let me first start off by apologizing for last night, y'all. I just wasn't feeling good, so I had to cancel the show. Obviously, there is a whole lot of going on. And we are going to get into some of that a little later on in the show. But y'all, in the interest of time, I got a special guest tonight, Mr. Paul Anthony. Y'all may remember him from, all those house party movies, the one that was about to whoop everybody's ass, quiet as it's kept at 40 years old. I'm damn near scared to interview this man because I remember being a kid watching House Party, identifying with Kid and Play, running through the alley, running from these guys. Mr. Paul Anthony from Full Force is going to join us on the stage right now so we can have a small chat with him. Paul, what's going on?
What's going on, baby? What's going on? Love the intro.
You're not going to beat us up, Paul, are you?
Only if I'm getting paid. Only if I'm getting paid.
Only if you get paid. Paul, when my publicist sent me over the information that you were going to be on the show, I was so overjoyed because I'm like, recently, all my little childhood heroes and people from back in the day up on the show. What does it feel like all of these years later to still be held in such high esteem for the house party movies?
Man, I tell you, man, it's a blessing beyond. Ever since we was singing on the street with our dad at 12 and 11, 8 years old at the Apollo Theater, winning it 4 times at 12 and coming up and getting turned down by labels and just keep recreating ourselves. My goal was always to live forever, always to live forever through the music, through what we do, what we leave. So it's a blessing that I see kids that weren't even born with the house party getting married and they doing that Ain't My Type of Hype and they doing the kick step. Man, it's a blessing, man. So I feel honored, and that's just one aspect of everything that we've done, but it's a memorable one. So it's all love.
It's so funny because I'm part of the 40 and over crowd, and it's so funny. When I go to house parties now, somewhere or another, Ain't My Type of Hype always gets played somewhere in the mix of things.
Yeah, man. I feel that too. Everywhere I can be shopping, walking down, I'll turn right back. There's like 13, 14 people behind me. Ain't you this guy? And I get that all the time, everywhere we go, man. So it's a blessing, man, that the song, and that's how it is, man. Music will always live forever. Recreate itself in another place and time. So it's a blessing,
Paul, tell me what it was like back in the day, being big, swole, pop, R&B fingers. Like, what? I mean, I know the guys in the hood had to Jones y'all for that.
Yeah, well, you know what? Once again, Full Force is credited with being the first to bring in fitness and bodybuilding into R&B hip hop, in particular me, because I put it out there. We all stayed in shape, but I was always the guy that would say things that others shouldn't, wear things that others wouldn't, and do things that others couldn't. I always believe in being on the edge. So the fact that we was always put it in our videos, even in groups that we manage, whether it's Lisa and Cult Jam, whether it's UTFO, people knew that. Even when we did the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, it was always physical fitness, So I still stay in shape, but those building blocks was the core. And to know that I've inspired so many others, whether it's Busta and 50 and Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, to know that, to inspire them, that's beautiful, because at the end of the day, we want to inspire each other. So it's wonderful.
Indeed. Now, health and fitness is always important, and it noting that you guys brought that to fitness, brought that to music. But aside from the fitness as it relates to your health, you had a battle with cancer. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that was interesting, man, because I was a physical fitness person. So the fact that this rare cancer hit me, my interpretation was he gives his toughest battles to his toughest warriors. And on part 2 of our interview, I'll go into detail about the journey that took. Because when I was diagnosed, the first thing I did, me and my wife, was went to a spiritual advisor to make sure that he said I was going to be okay. After that, it was just a long journey, but I came through, beat 3 cancers, 2 bone marrow transplants. I can still wear the same clothes I wore when we came in the industry 30, 40 years ago. And now the music is the gift, but the purpose is how much lives I can touch and change and save, We'll get into detail.
So speaking of those lives and whatnot, Paul, what you got going on today, right now? I mean, what is Paul Anthony doing now?
Man, I'm excited. There's a few irons in the fire we can't speak on. Of course, there's some new artists that we're going to bring. There's a possible residency. Everybody doing a residency because you want to stay put, be still.
Okay.
It's possible that full force documentary and a few interesting things. Y'all got to stay tuned. Between now and the next interview, I'll be able to speak on it, man. But oh yeah, we're not done. We're not done with our people. He's not done with me, and there's still so much to do, you know?
So, Paul, I see you out there in the middle of the streets in New York. I'm gonna let you get on
Yes,
what
sir.
you get on, but let me tell
My
you something.
man.
I cannot
Yes.
wait until we can sit down and
Oh
really
yeah,
have an in-depth conversation. This was just a little teaser to let the
this is a
crowd
teaser.
know you still
Right.
alive, you're still out there, you're still looking good, you're still
My
healthy,
man.
all
Yes.
that. And
Oh
Paul,
yeah.
we will see you soon, Paul.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming, man. The God sexy don't go nowhere. We coming.
Paul, before I let you go, let
All right,
everybody
Jay.
know. Before I let you go, let everybody know where they can find you at.
Oh yeah. Well, with me, on all my handles, it's the legend Paul Anthony, and of course, fullforceworld.com. But definitely, y'all get at me, reach at me because we coming to a city near you. That's for sure. The legend Paul Anthony.
There it is, my brother. You have a good evening.
I appreciate you.
All right now.
Bless.
Y'all, so listen, y'all know that's out of the norm for me. When I logged on, I told Paul that I was going to bring him on at about 8:30, and he was like, oh man, I'm in Times Square. I just stepped away real quick to a quiet place. I was about to tell my people that I needed to go on early because I got XYZ going on, so on and so forth. And I said, well, you know what? I'll just bring him on at the top of the show real quick because we got a lot that we need to cover today anyway. All right, so on to what it is everybody want to talk about. Everybody want to talk about what's going over there. I just slowed the chat down. Baby, the people want to talk about what's going on down there to the TGIF, baby. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all must be a special type of fool if y'all think I'm getting involved in that. All right. I'm finna flat out tell y'all, all of y'all that came here tonight to get the exclusive tea and get the rundown, you might as well log out right now because you're going to be highly disappointed. I don't have nothing to do with any of that. My contract and my tenure at them people's job ended on December 22nd, and I have not turned back since, okay? As it relates to it, do I have opinions? Do I have thoughts? Have I talked to people? Absolutely. But I have no interest in getting on the internet and becoming a part of that. There's already, without the truth even being out there are already 900 YouTube videos that have been played with my picture on it and people going in and out, making up all type. Baby, that stuff don't have nothing to do with me. That stuff don't have no, I don't work there no more. I don't work there no more. I'm friends with Al. I don't have an issue with Claudia, but we are not in relationship. And Armand, I am friendly with. I am friendly with Armand. I am friends with Al, and I have no relationship with Claudia, but I don't have a problem with her. Outside of that, y'all, I ain't got nothing left. I have nothing to offer publicly when it comes to that, y'all. That whole situation over there, that's their stuff. That's between the people that worked over there in Fox Soul. What I will say is this. I obviously y'all saw the little snippet that I posted on my IG where I needed to correct some things that Tasha K was out there saying. The only thing, and listen, are you content creators out there and you up and coming content creators? I recognize that we are the information, or we are the tea, or we are the story this week, or mostly them. I'm on the periphery, and that's fine and well. It comes with the territory. All I ask, just as a professional courtesy or just as a human being courtesy, is don't put 10 on, don't put 20 on 10. Don't be out there lying, just outright lying. Like on Tasha K's video, I had to correct some of the things she was saying. Claudia makes about 300 and Oh, I'm telling all their business. And Funky Dineva make 250 and Al made about 150. It goes based off of popular. Girl, you just set your ass right there and pull all that damn information straight out your ass. Okay? There is enough tea. If you just use the details and the facts that are available to y'all and the context clues, there is enough tea present that y'all don't have to be making up lies. Oh, he says he says he walked away, but he was really fired. I mean, where's y'all getting this information from? And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. That's one thing in the 13-year career that I have that y'all can never say that I've done. I have never, and this is not even about Tasha K. This is about content creators, period. I have never sat on this camera and just straight up pulled stuff out of my butt and said it because I want to be viewed as the person that got all the inside information. There is enough of the real drama out there present. If you know where to look, there's enough of it present that you do not have to sit up and conjure up stuff. You don't have to speculate. And believe it or not, those of y'all who know me or within arm's reach of me, I am nice enough that all you got to do is text or call me where you want me to fill in the gaps for you. And I will fill in the gaps for you. I'll even say Funky Dineva. I'll even give you permission to say Funky Dineva told me I can say this. But outside of that, y'all, I ain't got nothing left. That's some people stuff. I will give you this since y'all want a little piece. Since y'all want a little something. Let me give y'all a little something. It's beyond visible that the show imploded. And it imploded from people seemingly not getting along. Those issues were present when I was still there. And that was another reason why it was very easy for me to walk away. All right. It was like, y'all over here, acting stupid with the money. I know what my contribution is. Every day I come to work, it's some new stuff, some new grievance. I ain't got time for it. Y'all can have it. All right. So that's that on that. That is that on that. Moving right along. Yo, down to the bar, New Orleans. Y'all better get y'all tickets. With what few tickets are left, y'all better get y'all tickets for what few tickets are left. When I tell y'all we are about to turn New Orleans inside out, we are about to turn New Orleans inside out. This party has already got over 200 RSVPs of people. Y'all, I got a feeling that I'm going to end up doing an annual Essence Funky Dineva party situation. I'm going to be the new Tom Joyner of New Orleans because we going to have a good doggone time. Listen, when I thought Huntsville was epic, I did not think New Orleans or everybody traveling to New Orleans for Essence was going to make this thing as big as it is, okay? Secondly, y'all about getting paid out there. Y'all are about getting paid out there. And so I had to double bike to the people over there at Paid for Your Say. And them people said, Dineva, we can't discount it like we did the last time, but we're going to reach in our little bag of tricks and we're going to let you hit it one more time. And so now Paid for Your Say, the program is $225. The first promotion that we ran it was $125 off, making your out-of-pocket cost $100. But now, y'all, the people said we need our $25. So if you use promo code Dineva125, you'll get $100 off, leaving your out-of-pocket expenses at $125. Now, all of y'all that was emailing me the last time talking about, oh, you know, Dineva, I don't get paid until this day. I don't get paid until that day. Can you run it again? Can you run it again? We running it again. We are running it again. All right. Use promo code Dineva125 and you will get $100 off, and you will only have to pay $100 to get paid for what you say. All right. Now, I see some people in the comments, y'all going on about it's a scam. Some people are asking, did they get paid? Some people are saying they didn't get paid. You know, because it did not work for you, or because you have not been chosen for a survey yet, I don't think it's fair for you to run back and attack this person's business and say it's a scam, because you got people here saying, I made my money back in the first week. All right. So just because you thought that you was finna log on and make $10,000 by Friday and it didn't work for you, don't be running out damaging this person's business and or reputation and calling it a scam. Follow the directions, be diligent, apply for the surveys, apply for the mock trials, apply properly, and wait until you're chosen. It's that simple. And like she said, they probably didn't fill the stuff out right. You probably didn't. They probably didn't fill out all the stuff. Probably didn't. Just broke, ran down, probably can't read, bills backed up, looking for a get-rich-quick scheme. Let me tell you something. There ain't no get-rich-quick scheme, honey. It ain't no get-quick scheme. Let me see what Miss Girl say. Hold on a minute. It didn't work for me. I still haven't been called for a survey. That don't mean you won't be called for one tomorrow, Tanya Brown. Or that don't mean you won't be called for one next month, girl. All these girls on here saying they got their money. And I ain't trying to count nobody's pockets, but at the end of the day, even if it didn't work for your child, it's only $100 damn. All right. If $100 damn is the difference between your ass surviving and dying, then you got bigger problems than taking the damn survey. And we gonna move on from that. Okay, somebody. You don't need to be trying to do no surveys. You need to be driving Uber and carrying your ass down to McDonald's trying to work the night shift. That's what the hell you need to be doing. Okay. And it says, hear what the girl said, because I can tell you some of the girls, it says you need to try to get in at least 10 screeners a day in order for it to work. And I'm sure the main girl, it don't work. I'm sure y'all hoes applied the one thing. Y'all applied the one thing, it didn't work, and now you want to call that lady business a scam. Don't do that. Your mama told you your daddy was your daddy. That's the scam. Oh, huzzies. Anyway, did y'all get into, let's get into these topics. Did y'all get into the new season of Bridgerton? I was just using that as a buffer in order for me to go here. I got some more tea up in the spill for y'all, and I thought about if I was going to do this and if I was going to be messy or not. But the new season of Bridgerton, what do y'all think about it? I enjoyed it. It picked up where it left off at, but it wasn't quite as, whatever. That's not what I want. Something messed up. That's not what I want. Wrong screen. It's the wrong screen. Let me see here. Trying to get the technology together. Share screen. There we go. All right, y'all. So we got to get into this new story. Miss Pat was fired from the Big Tigger show.
You was waking up to do radio.
Oh Lord, I ain't even got my headphones in. I hope y'all can hear this. Hold on, y'all. I don't forgot what hole my headphones go in. Oh shit, hell. God damn it. This is why I need a production assistant.
Out there, and if you call me, we can fight in the street. It was jealousy.
Okay.
But I was really, when they walked me in now and they said we're not renewing your contract, because I said I was leaving in August. I was so shocked. I said, y'all gonna fire me?
Wow.
Do you know these people get up to listen to me? Don't nobody listen to this crap.
Miss Pat got a hit podcast, hit TV show.
Hit TV show.
Yeah.
And you gonna fire the person who had the most going on, which was me and Shamil? You gonna leave the DJ? You want the DJ just to spin workers?
Did Tigger at least reach out to you and say thank you for it?
I blocked that nigga.
Damn.
He sure did. I said, I'm not Shamil. You don't play with me. I'm 52 years old. I don't have time to play these games with you. You're low down, you're dirty, and anybody who go over there and work for him, and the show was doing well. When I got there, they were number 15. When I left, we were 2 and 3. You gonna fire us? Nigga, you should have got fired. But keep your little show, because I ain't never needed it anyway. My team was like, why are you going over there and work for that old dead-ass station? I said, I want to work for V103. I'm from Atlanta. I want to work for V103. Don't make me wake up and take unnecessary baths. You know, I had to get up and take a bath every morning. Yeah.
Y'all, that's what Miss Pat had to say. So y'all know I did an episode of the Miss Pat show. It was a very interesting set experience. It was V103 has gone through a lot of changes since Frank, Wanda, and Miss Sophia left. Let's start there, right? Ever since that threesome over there at V103 stopped working, that morning show had a very, very difficult time trying to find its footing. And then they hired Tigger, which was, cool for what it was worth. And then they had different people with them. And I don't know, the nothing against Tigger and team, but the morning show just never returned to its full morning glory days from when Frank, Wanda, and Miss Sophia were there. When they brought Miss Pat and Shamia on, while I think individually all of them are super duper great people, the threesome just never, ever made sense to me. It didn't make sense to me at all. I worked on hell, I'm finna go ahead and tell it. Child, I worked on that damn Miss Pat show on BET. And I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. If I don't ever have to work with Pat again, if I never in my damn life have to ever work on a set with Miss Pat again, it will be too soon. Miss Pat was the most rudest, most unprofessional bitch I have ever experienced in a working environment. She was rude. She was unprofessional. She was ignorant as all hell. And she was very demeaning to everybody on that doggone on that team. I will never, ever forget. We were sitting down in the middle of the studio for a table read. Because in the mornings, we read to go over the script. She walked in in the middle of everybody reading, and I'm not lying, there's 30, 40 people there that can attest to this. She walked in and she said, don't nobody this morning say a MFing thing to me if they don't want to have to deal with me at the type of morning that I'm going through. And so, mind you, at the time, you know, I only got 2 little lines. So I'm sitting there in my mind thinking to myself, who in the hell is she talking to? I'm looking at her like, who in the hell is she talking to? Because I'm only here for a small cameo and it's 2 lines. And I promise you, I have no problem leaving. That's what was going through my mind. I have no problem leaving because it's not even really paying me anything. And I'm thankful for the opportunity, but I'm not finna be spoken to. And granted, she was not talking to me directly. She was not speaking to me directly. It was a circle of us. She was speaking to everybody. Then outside of that, she goes, somebody go get my breakfast. And that was the cue for, I guess, the production assistants to run to the back and go get her breakfast. Mind you, breakfast is set up early and everybody, you know, goes and gets their respective breakfast and comes down and eats. Now, here's the thing. Here is why I was disappointed. I was extremely disappointed because when you look up at all of the signage in the place, it says The Miss Pat Show. It says The Miss Pat Show. And I'm like, wow, this was very disappointing because you are the leader of all of this. You are the leader of all of this. Every paycheck, every job in this room is predicated upon you. And this is the way you come in and you treat people and you speak to people. And I'm going to be honest with you. Here is what it gave for me. What it gave is I am a ghetto, ignorant bitch from the slums of Atlanta who not used to having nothing. I'm from the streets. I sold drugs and I went to prison. Now I have 2 nickels to rub together and I'm rich and I'm better than everybody. And this is how you act when you rich. You know those people who think, oh, when they get something that you're supposed to demean people and talk down to people and act like this. That's all of what she was giving. And in that very moment, I lost all respect for Miss Pat. I was like, wow. I was so shocked. And when I tell you it took the wind out of my sails, in that moment. I was like, wow. And for those people who her comedy is their brand of comedy, I can't take anything from her. She's great. What she's put together was great, but Pat definitely needs an attitude adjustment. Lord, why am I sitting here eating pancakes and bacon? Lord have mercy. And I ain't add nothing to it, and I ain't taking nothing from it. That was my experience on the Miss Pat Show. Moving right along. Anthony Mackey. Anthony Mackey just did an interview, y'all, that has really made me garner a new level of respect for him, and it's actually changed the way I position myself on this. Catch this.
Because of the Kardashians, we're kind of put in this reality where we're looked at as tools, as vessels, as opposed to artists. And there's been several experiences now where people have taken a picture with me and used them for ways that I don't deem, the right way. So because of that, I choose not to be a part of your social reality. You know,
it is interesting that the melding of actors and celebrities where there used to be more difference,
Completely
and now
different.
people they're conflated into the same thing. But
Right.
it's like I have no interest in that other part.
Right.
It's the job. It's what I do.
Yeah.
But the assumption that you're that as well is
right. I have
frustrating.
people tell me all the time, "Well, this is what you signed up for." I'm like, that's crazy. That's like telling a girl that because she got put on a cute dress and went to a bar, she signed up for me to harass her all night. No. And this.
What's y'all take on that? So y'all know back in the day, Anthony Mackey caught a lot of flack for not wanting to take pictures with people. Remember, there was a situation where the woman, told the young man no, and then the mom came back up with the camera rolling, I just want to be clear. You're telling the child no, you won't take a picture. And he was like, absolutely, I'm telling the child no. And it went viral, and y'all got all up in arms about, oh, that's your job, so on and so forth. And even me, I was on that whole, if you're out in public and in a public space, it is expected of you to want to take a photo. But listening to him say this, it gave me a different perspective. And he is absolutely right. He is absolutely right. In these days and times, with the Sydney Stars of the world, with everybody wanting to be Instagram famous of the world, you're absolutely right. And I didn't even think about it. And obviously, I think because I'm a gay F-list celebrity. I'm on the F-list and I'm gay. I think it doesn't affect me as much. But there is a world now, like he said, where these people want to make you a part of their social reality. The man said it's happened to him before and he's not interested anymore. Look at how many people go around, take these pictures with these dudes in these bars and clubs. And then the next thing you know, it's a scandal on all the blogs. Oh, I was with him in the hotel last night. I was doing this. I was doing that. And so, you know what? Now that I think about it, he's absolutely right. And I love that he kind of piggybacked off of the Me Too movement a little bit. And he said, we live in an era where you now have to respect people's no. That is the truth. We now live in an era where you now have to respect people's no. And then y'all be real quick to want to say stuff like, oh, but if it wasn't for us wanting to take pictures with him, he wouldn't have no career. No, that's not true. Because the reality of the situation is y'all still gonna go watch. Picture or no picture, you still gonna go watch. And I think for so long that, the attitude in Hollywood has been one of which where people do this fake humble thing, right? Because I'm here to tell y'all, as somebody who occupies space in the industry, it's fake humility. When they get up and they say, oh, I want to thank, excuse me. Oh, I want to thank the fans. I want to thank the fans because without you, there'd be no me. With all of the, let me be very clear with you. Let me be very clear, and I'm going to break down all of your faves. This whole, I want to thank the fans, and if it wasn't for the fans, there'd be no me and I wouldn't be you. I am here to tell you that is in the orientation packet of Welcome to Hollywood. That is what you are supposed to say when you get your Oscar, Grammy, or your Emmy. I am here to tell you that more celebrities than not are absolutely annoyed by fans, okay? They are absolutely annoyed by fans. I am here to tell you that taking pictures is the worst part of the job. They all hate it. They all hate it. I am here to tell you that after your first year in the business and after you hear 2,000 people tell you, oh my God, I loved you when you played in The Devil Wears Prada. That's my favorite movie. After hearing that 200 times, it honestly becomes a hollow gesture. You get no more emotional gratification out of somebody coming back to you saying, ooh, fucking Dineva, my favorite video of yours is back when you was doing the scandal video and you said, rest in peace, Judge Cancer. You know, no shade, no shade, no shade. I've heard it 5,000 times and that video is 10 years old. So when I hear it for the 5,001st time, 11 years later, do you honestly think I'm having an emotional reaction to that? I'm just telling y'all the God honest truth. So this whole moral of the story is respect these folks' pride. Respect these folks' privacy. All right. Beyonce get up there and say, oh, I thank the fans. Girl, that lady wouldn't be caught dead walking the street with y'all ass. That lady wouldn't be caught dead walking the street with y'all ass. Okay? Let me tell you, let me start telling all the celebrity people business before they stop inviting me to parties. Okay? But being famous is not fun. Being famous is not fun. It's not fun at all. It is not fun at all. There is nothing fun about it. The only thing fame is good for is getting in the club for free. And I have said that from the very beginning. The only thing that it is good for is getting in the club for free. That's it. Moving right along. Justin Timberlake got a DUI, y'all. They say he was down there to the Hamptons. They say he was down there to the Hamptons, y'all. They say JT, look at him. Child, he did it. Eyes just as red as they want to be. Y'all want to know what's funny? Don't get me wrong. Justin Timberlake is, by every stretch of the imagination, an attractive man. But what happened to cute curly-haired Justin from NSYNC? This looked like a whole nother man. And I don't know if it's because his hair not curly no more, or is it because he has the beard? When his hair was curly, was that a perm? Because you know, black people, to get our hair straight, we call it a perm. For white people to curl their hair, they call it a perm. But whatever they said he did it. Now I'm gonna tell y'all, baby, I'm a classy based drunk. When I get drunk, my eyes don't turn red. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna move on. Justin Timberlake looked like he could have been carrying one of them tiki torches down to that college that time during the Black Lives Matter period. It's giving me real, I carry tiki torches. I'm just telling y'all, it's giving me tiki torch realness. It's giving me tiki torch realness. Cause how old Justin? Hey Siri, how old is Justin Timberlake?
Justin Timberlake is 43 years old.
Is that consistent with 43? He is from Tennessee, honey. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that red down. I'm gonna leave that right there. Speaking of somebody else ass that's going to jail, baby, Bishop Lamar Whitehead is going to jail, honey. He is going to jail. Baby, he got 9 years, 9 long years. Hey Siri, how old is Bishop Lamar Whitehead?
I found this on the web.
Let me see. It say he was born 70, he 45. Y'all see how a black 45 and a white 43 look different? A black 45 and a white 43 look real different. Bishop Lamar Whitehead look like he got that look like he'll hunch the dog SHIT out of you and steal your wallet, which is probably what he was doing down there to that church. He woo! Nevertheless, y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Respect is not the right word, but a lot of people who leave the street game and get out of jail, they go to preaching and pastoring and open up churches, so on and so forth. And aside from playing with the Lord and aside from tricking people or whatever, you have to admit it is a pretty legit scheme. It is a pretty legit scheme. And quiet as it's kept, it would have been a completely legal scheme had he not went overboard. Had he simply just been preaching the fake gospel and taking the people money like a lot of the other ones do, it would have been a complete legal scheme and he could have sailed out to the rest of his days. Hold on, what are people saying? What they saying about JT and Poppers? Funky, you gonna skip Poppers from JT? I didn't know nothing about JT was on the Poppers. They say he was snorting the pop. They say he was snorting the Poppers. They said JT was snorting the Poppers. I'ma say this. They said Poppers, Molly, Truvada, and cocaine, and now y'all just lying. That's the gay boy starter kit. Now y'all just lying. Okay, they said it was a fake post. Yeah, you going back to what I said earlier. Y'all will sit up and just lie on people. Just sit up and lie. Just sit up and lie. Anyway, y'all ass deserve to be in prison with Bishop Lamar Whitehead. Just sitting up and lying. Sitting up and lying, y'all. Y'all, I'm going to take a moment and we're going to talk about this real quick. I want to talk about this real quick and I want to get y'all opinion. And I promise y'all, I don't want y'all to think that I got it out for Normani. Because I don't. I did a post earlier today. I said it 9,000 times, and this is no shade to her and her talent, but there is something missing. The intangible it factor just isn't present. Nobody is walking around saying, I want to be like Normani. A whole album don't hit the shelves and ain't nobody buzzing about anything. And then I said, maybe it's time that she pivot her route to success and potentially go into Broadway or something. Because here's the thing. Without a doubt, Normani has talent, okay? That is not for debate. That is not for debate. That girl has talent and she can sing. For whatever reason, y'all, Normani is boring as SHIT. She's just boring. She's just boring. Okay? She's beautiful. She's beautiful. She's got all the things. She's got all the things. But she's just boring. All right? And I am going to tell y'all the same thing that I said to a varying degree about Chloe Bailey. When it comes to them being over sexualized, and Chloe had it worse, in my opinion, trying to be these sex kittens that they simply are not, okay? And here's the thing. What y'all are not going to do in this conversation, y'all not going to make it a dark-skinned girl thing. You're not. Because Coco Jones stepped onto the scene, baby, and we're loving her. Coco Jones stepped onto the scene and we're loving her. I was reading the comments today and somebody said something that I got to sleep on, and they said, the problem with Normani is she's not being true to herself and she's too busy trying to go the pop route when she needs to maybe go the more R&B route. I absolutely agree. Now, when you want to start talking about skin color and her being a brown skin girl, yeah, if you're trying to sell Normani, to a bucket of white teens, if you are trying to sell Normani to a bucket of white teenagers, then maybe her skin color is a factor. Maybe her skin color is a factor. All right. But when if you wanted to give her to us, to the black folks, oh baby, we eat that skin color up. We are eating Tim's up right now. We are eating Summer Walker up. We are eating Coco Jones up. So it's not a skin color thing, baby. And if it was about skin color, Tinashe would be much further than where the hell she is. You see what I'm saying? She's just boring as all hell. She has no identity. I don't even know what her voice sounds like. I honestly don't. I don't know. And people saying, somebody said, pop route equals money. Segregating yourself to only R&B is limiting yourself. Absolutely. I 100% unequivocally disagree. Pop route don't equal money when you ain't pop. My mama always said a little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing. With her doing pop right now, she's getting a whole lot of nothing. Even if she was doing R&B music and she was just doing small venues, at least she'd have a little bit of something. All right. Tyler Perry did those Chitlin Circuit plays directed exclusively to the church. He niched himself in one box and dominated it. So no, this line of thinking right here, E. Harris, is why mama keep coming up short. Because she got her eyes set on something that's not for her. And the reality of the situation is what's for you will be for you. We were all put on this earth to do something specific. And when you tap into what that specific thing is, the universe will see to it that you make money. The problem is our dark brown chocolate sister that's over there trying to be embraced by a village and a tribe that do not want her. She need to come on home. What Oprah said when she rocked that lady on the Women's of Brewster Place, she said, come on, bike. Come on, bike. Come on, bike. She need to come on bike. And if she don't want to come on bike, then she need to go sell insurance. If she don't want to come on bike, then she need to go sell insurance, because whatever it is she's doing, it's honestly showing that it's not working. And granted, an argument could be made that my 40-plus-year-old self is not her target demo for her album, but don't nobody want it. I work at the radio station. I ain't hearing nothing. The girls ain't TikToking. They ain't making memes. Mama need to go ahead and just sell insurance or earrings or get on the Real Housewives or something. Honestly and truthfully, quiet as it's kept, she might need to just go get a celebrity hookup and hook up with somebody and use that route, you know. And then you got Victoria Monet out here who's being loyal to herself and who is slowly, like making waves. Chaz, you better come over here and get on Love and Hip Hop, or call my friend James Knox and get on the Impact New York, something or another, because this right here, it's not working. And I want it to work. I'm not hating on her. I ain't trying to take nothing from her. I want it to work, but it ain't working. Y'all, I want to play something for y'all that brought tears to my eyes.
I'm so proud of you. From the very moment that I gave birth to you from my womb, I loved you. And I love you more now. Our relationship haven't always been this way. But I'm so thankful that I listened to God. Because you always been my baby. You'll always be my baby. I don't care how old you get, no matter how many changes happen. That day you walked out that house, and I didn't understand why you walked away until we did your T.S. Madison experience. I learned so much that day why you had to walk away. You had to go find yourself. And I always knew you was something special about you, that you had a purpose. And I just didn't know what it was. And I'm looking at how many lives you touch. And I just want you to know I love you and how proud I am of you, baby. I love you too, Mama. I am so proud.
Let's not even make this, I don't even want to make this a gay, trans, LGBTQ conversation. I don't even want to make it that. How many of y'all can honestly and open-heartedly say that y'all parents loved y'all to that level that Miss Mary just showed Madison? And how many of y'all can unequivocally say that you love your children with the depth and the passion and the emotion and the realness and the rawness that Miss Mary said she loved her child, and it wasn't fake and it wasn't for show? You know, when I watched it, I teared up for multiple reasons. I teared up, number one, because this is my family, and Madison is my sister, and I teared up for that. I teared up because I know Madison's story, and I know the trans girls, a lot of their stories, and the fact that it was full circle moment. I teared up from Miss Mary because she went from traditional Southern church mother who comes along with all the thoughts and opinions and perspectives that comes with to becoming a more evolved person. I teared up for that. I teared up, though. The largest reason why I teared up was for the love that I did not have. That was the biggest reason why I teared up. I was like, wow, I teared up for the love that I did not have. I am I feel left out. I feel not understood. I feel a lot of things. Now, don't get me wrong. My parents loved me the best they could with the tools that they had, and they knew what they knew, and what they didn't know, they didn't know. But I honestly wish before both of my parents left this earth that we would have gotten to that place. I wish we would have gotten to that place. And, you know, in closing, I'm going to tell you one thing that I love about Miss Mary. One thing that I love about Miss Mary. And I was always, you know, when you meet somebody's parents and you find out they're part of the church or whatever, you're always a little leery because you're like, oh, you know, what are they really going to feel about me being gay? This, that, and the third. And I'm paraphrasing here, but I was in Miss Mary's presence one time and she said something to the effect of, basically, I don't know about all that stuff, all that gay and trans. She's like, I don't know about all that. She's like, I don't know about all that. I know though that as a Christian, it is my job to love. It is my job to love my child. And basically, God gonna do the rest with all that other stuff. I don't know. And in short, she was saying, I'm not concerning myself with that. But the meaning of being a true Christian is to love and to not judge. And honestly and truthfully, for those parents out there, grandparents, people listening, I honestly think that's the best position to take. Because, you know, when Maddison came out as trans to her mother, I am sure her mother went through the thing that all other mothers went through. They had to undo 30 or 40 years of believing that it was wrong, it was nasty, that you were going to hell, okay? And I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, I don't know whether she does or doesn't, but deep down inside, Miss Mary probably can still, you know, I don't know if it's right, I think it's wrong. She probably can still feel that way personally. I don't know. But I love the fact that she let her true Christian values override what she was taught and what she may feel. Mama said, she said, just listen. I don't know about it. I don't know about it. I don't understand it. And it's not my job to. She said, my only job is to love you and not to judge. And I think one thing that I never understood on this topic is that, you know, people use as justification for their hate God. You know, oh, you know, God don't like it. Because and I grew up in a household, my grandmother was big on God don't like it. But the question that I have in response is, when did God come down and ordain you to be his enforcer? Why are you mad on his behalf? Oh, because the Bible said, okay, fine. If that's your interpretation of the Bible, let's just hypothetically say the Bible flat out says it is bad, it is wrong. Why are you mad? God didn't whisper in your ear and tell you go around and collect souls on my behalf. God did not come down and say, can you please go put everybody in detention that don't listen to my word? Why are you having an emotional response to other people not being in congruence with God? That's what I never understood about people who use religion, church, and Bible as justification. I'm not knocking your belief to think it's wrong. I'm not knocking your interpretation. Have your interpretation. I'm not trying to change your mind. At 40 years old, I'm not trying to change your mind. Here's another thing I don't understand while I got y'all on the line. How is it possible that you think that homosexuality is wrong, but then you'll sit up here and be entertained by me? Like, y'all some of the most reverse Uno Jenga playing Christians I know. Like, y'all will sit up here and then when you get mad, want to say all type of homophobic stuff and how God don't like it and don't get mad at me. It's in the Bible, but you will sit up here and indulge in my gay ass all day long. That part I will never understand. This is how I knew religion was a crock of shit from the beginning. My grandma was so devoutly religious, but my mama had this booster friend named Richard and a wife named Diane, and they used to come to our house with a U-Haul truck. Baby, let me tell y'all something. Them early 90s boosters, they would boost down to the ground. They used to have furniture. How you steal furniture? They used to have furniture, clothes, dishes, everything. My grandma was the most holy person I knew, but she had no problem buying that stolen stuff off Richard them truck. This when I knew then it was a crock of SHIT. I knew very early on all of it was a crock of SHIT. And I was like, how on one token you gonna tell me not to steal and it's wrong, but the fact that you broke and don't have much money, you know, it overrides your Christian values and you buying this stolen stuff off the truck. It kills me the way people can manipulate the word. Sissy Houston got her ass on that Oprah interview about Whitney Houston when Oprah asked her about Whitney being gay, which she have accepted it, so on and so forth. And she was so ornery and so steadfast in her non-acceptance of it. However, you were having an affair with the pastor of the church, Sissy Houston. Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And I'm going to tell you something. It is human nature and basic human psychology for all of us to do something hypocritical throughout our lives. We all do it. We all do it. All right. Shame is one hell of a corrective mechanism. And you will be surprised at the things that people would not admit to. You will be surprised at the secrets people will keep. You will be surprised at the facades people will put up to avoid shame and embarrassment. We all do it. We all do it. It is a human thing. And I just think the closer and the more that we talk about true human nature, the better it would be for all of humanity. Some of y'all mamas and grandmamas were straight up hoes and in the church. Some of y'all get up and go to church every day and your boyfriend is somebody else's husband. Some of y'all are listening to me right now carrying the secret that your child that's 16 years old don't even belong to your husband. Some of y'all men right now know y'all got whole families on the other side of town and y'all juggling two households right now and hoping that you could take that secret to the grave. Some of y'all grandmas stole money from their sister. Come on, like what are we talking about here? Some of y'all hunched y'all sister boyfriend when y'all was 19. Some of y'all hunched y'all cousins. Some of y'all still hunching y'all cousins. Some of y'all steal from work. Some of y'all lie. Some of y'all secretly jealous of y'all kids. Half of y'all in the church, but y'all lie on y'all taxes. Y'all lie on social service applications. Y'all lie on y'all income in order to qualify for other stuff. Oh, but that ain't that bad. That ain't that bad. Come on. Come on. We all effing do it. We all do it. We all do it. And the sooner everybody would be honest about how flawed all of us are and how all of us can be hypocrites when it benefits us, or how all of us can be hypocritical in order to avoid shame, embarrassment, divorce, getting fired, being exposed. The sooner we can all admit that as a people, the deeper the connections we can have, and the more the sooner we can begin to heal. Come on, Shaq Philly, sweeping molestation under the rug. Half of y'all on here been molested. And around here protecting the perpetrators. In short, you know what I mean, come on now, y'all. Y'all don't want me to get deep on this thing. Some of y'all on here done did the molesting. And speaking to y'all women too, because what we are finding out now, is that some of y'all women just as nasty as these men when it come to molestation. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody, you nasty bitchu. Some of y'all nasty. Lord, y'all don't mess around and finna get me mad on this thing. Y'all about to get me mad on this thing, but then got the nerve to sit up and pass judgment on somebody else, because you can see my perceived social flaw. You can see the fact that I'm gay, or you could see the fact that that person trans, but we can't see that you hunching little kids, you nasty bitch. Come on, somebody. You can see that I'm gay. You can see that that person trans. We just can't see that you hunching your boss at your job, but you got a whole husband and kids at home. Or you hunching the secretary and got a baby with the secretary while your wife out there struggling, working 2 jobs. Some of y'all sitting up here listening to me right now with a whole damn STD and still going around hunching people. Don't get me started. Come on now. What we talking about? What we talking about? Some of y'all got whole drug problems and y'all spouses don't know. Some of y'all ain't got no job right now and y'all spouses don't know. Just leaving the house. Going and shooting dice and gambling every week, hoping you hit big so you can come home and make the bills and keep carrying that facade. Some of y'all mamas and daddies and in-laws on here helping y'all child cheat. Facilitating the boy bringing his girlfriend around the house and to the family events while the wife's sitting at home pregnant. Some of y'all cheating with the people at the doggone church. Come on, somebody. So what we talking about here? Because, and I'm gonna leave it at this, and you ain't gotta tell me your business. But if we had to take a book, if we had to take a piece of paper and write down 10 things in our lives that we have done that would send us to hell per social standards and per the Bible, all of us would need 13 pieces of paper. You ain't got to be shaming. You ain't got to tell your business, because this is not a safe space. I repeat, this is not a safe space. This is not a safe space. So you ain't got to tell us your business. But even the most holy of you, if I asked you to simply write down 10 things that you've done in your life that will send you straight to hell, you probably need 13 pieces of paper. And that's each and every one of us, me included. And I think that if, as a people, we begin to focus on the fact that we have more in common than we do these petty little differences, if we could begin to connect on the fact that all of us flawed, yeah, I cheated before. Yeah, I lied before. Yeah, I did a family member wrong before. Yeah, I did that. If we could learn to humanize being flawed, being honest, and understanding that sometimes being hypocritical is just part of the human experience, then I think that we could begin to heal and better live in unity. But we are too busy trying to one-up one another and be better than the other. And honestly and truthfully, here's what I've learned. The people who are the loudest with like pointing out what somebody, that's deflection. That is deflection, baby. That is deflection. When you try to pedestal somebody else's flaws and blow up and exaggerate and advertise, that's because you don't want the light shining on you. So let me blow this person up so everybody looking over there, while they can't see that I'm sucking dick behind the church over here. Come on, somebody. Let me get off this subject. Y'all ain't ready for this. That's a whole nother podcast. It's gonna be called Praise the Lord, Dineva. Y'all want me to keep going with the rest of these topics, or y'all want me to just roll them over to tomorrow? I already got y'all on the line, and I did y'all wrong yesterday, so I'm gonna roll them over. We're gonna keep going. Speaking of people hunching their kids. So this has been a conversation on the internet today, and I didn't mean that was a horrible transition. By no means am I implying that the game is hunching his daughter. As a matter of fact, I am in support of what the game has going on. But there has been a lot of conversation about pictures of the game and his daughter. And, you know, a lot of people are going on saying that, you know, the photos are inappropriate and so on and so forth. I don't think so. Now, you know, let's be honest. Let's look at the photo that's on the screen currently. Does this photo mimic a pose that we are used to seeing when people are romantically involved? Absolutely. Okay. I'm not finna sit up here and make it seem like, oh, this buzz that's going around is just completely without merit. No, it triggers something in people because it's not common. All right. We are not used to seeing fathers and daughters necessarily interact in this way. But therein lies the problem. Therein lies the problem. The problem is we are so used to fathers being emotionally detached, absent, non-involved, or over there in the corner, that when we see a father that is madly in love with his daughter, we don't know how to respond. We don't know how to respond. I'm going to get deeply personal with y'all right now. As a vestige of poverty, I grew up in an environment where children were often made to feel like responsibilities, like something that had to be taken care of. You know, I got to feed these kids. I got to take care of these kids. I got to clothe these kids. And the only focus of the adults was survival. They always talk about the difference between people who grew up in a loving environment and people who grew up, people who grew up in environments that were filled with love. And I think that that's a lot of people's story. Nobody's fault. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those vestiges of slavery and poverty. This is a situation where you have a father that probably is in the studio and he can't wait to get home to be around his children. And I'm going to tell y'all something, and it's very sad, but it wasn't until I was in my mid-30s. It was not until I was in my mid-30s that I realized that that's what a parent-to-child relationship is supposed to be like. It wasn't until my mid-30s that I realized, oh my God, the way a parent is supposed to be at work and just cannot wait to get home to want to be around their children. You know, I grew up in one of those turn 18 and get out the house environments. You turn 18, you need to leave. You know, my father was one of those types where he even told us, he was like, you know, I don't like to call y'all. I don't like to get in y'all business and know what's going on because I don't want to feel like I have to get involved and I want to help. He was very hands off. Like, I don't even want to know because I don't want to be bothered with y'all. It took me getting grown to realize that that is not normal. That is not normal. And I'm going to be honest for you. People like my father, I weep for him. He's in the grave now, but I weep for him. I could never imagine something coming from me and not wanting to be around it. I could not imagine something coming from me and me looking at it every day, feeling like it was an obligation, a bill, and a responsibility, and I can't wait for it to turn 18 and leave. I could not fathom that. I couldn't fathom it. I imagine that if I had children, I would just want my kids to be around me all the time. I would just want to sit back in awe of my children and just watch them go out there and kill it. And I think that that's how it's supposed to be. But I also think circumstances, life, and honestly, survival and finances keeps a lot of people from being able to have that relationship with their children. You know, it's like love, honestly and truthfully, oftentimes is a luxury. Love is a luxury. You know, even though I talk about my experiences, I don't hate my parents. I'm not mad. Am I heavily affected by a lot of it? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I understand that they were just a product of the time that they grew up in, doing the best they could with the little bit that they had. But there's nothing wrong with this picture, in my opinion. This girl loves her dad, and this dad loves this daughter. And just as long as he ain't diddling in her hoo-ha and touching her inappropriately and creeping in her bedroom at night, there is nothing wrong with her being an ultimate daddy's girl to the max. And I'm going to tell y'all the beautiful thing about a young lady like this. Some of y'all half-raised, knucklehead behind sons are not going to be able to walk into her life and whisper sweet nothings in her ear and give her a stolen Michael Kors purse and trick her out her panties. It's just not going to happen. Honestly and truthfully, she probably gonna have a very hard time finding a husband. She's gonna have a very hard time finding a husband because her love cup is so full. She is going to have to find a man who can make her feel something 10 notches above her daddy. you're going to have to come in here and be more spectacular than my daddy. And unfortunately, in the Black community, it's a rarity. It's rare. That's just that on that, y'all. I don't, you know, like I said, I'm understanding enough to understand why it feels weird to some people. I get it. I see it. I see the same thing. I see the same thing that y'all are seeing. I see it. When I look at it, it makes me do like this. I see it. But then I have to pause and I have to use my head. And I have to look at it and I have to process it and analyze and apply a little bit of logic and intellect to it and see it for what it is. And this next story, y'all, I find it to be interesting. Now, I never watched this show quite as it's kept. I didn't know who these people was until today. But they say the stars are doubling down with the derricos, divorced after 19 years of marriage and 14 kids. Let me tell you something. First and foremost, she a better woman than I ever be. She is a better woman than I'll ever be. I don't give a damn if you whooping my ass every day. You not leaving me in no house with 14 children. You're not leaving me in no house with 14 children, okay? Not until they leave or not until we down to 3. Logistically, this is hell on earth. Now, hear me out here. Situations like this are always unfair to the older children because the older children jump in and inadvertently become surrogate parents. This was something else that I did not know until I turned older. My mom adopted 2 kids, and a lot of their care fell on my shoulders as a teenager. I can remember being in the house, looking out the window, crying because the rest of the kids were outside playing, and I was in the house changing Pampers, feeding, being responsible for. I can remember coming home and getting a whooping or getting yelled at because my little brother and sister may have broke something or got into something. And, you know, the thought process was I should have been watching them. It was not, again, until I turned 30 something that I realized your older children are not supposed to be raising your younger children. Your younger children did not ask to be parents. And for those of y'all who are within earshot of my voice, if y'all doing that to y'all kids, y'all need to stop that SHIT right now. Y'all need to stop that. Do not rob your teenage children of their youth, making them responsible for children. You laid up on your back and pushed that child out. You go bathe it. You go feed it. You go clothe it. You go figure out a way to get the youngest one from school and back home. You go help the youngest one with the homework. You do it. You reap the pleasure of the orgasm that was necessary to create the doggone child. You go do it. And again, going back to vestiges of poverty, I'm pretty sure that parents are doing the best they can with what they have. And I understand in a perfect world, if mama and daddy were free to do it, that they would. And then oftentimes the older kids have to jump in and help out because if they don't do it, nobody else will. But I need you, I'm going to tell you something. If that's you, your ass deserve to feel the guilt and the shame associated with it. The older children did not ask to be parents. And if I'm telling y'all the truth, that is the real reason why I don't want children. Because children do not look like love to me. The experience of being a parent, there is nothing fun about it to me because I experienced it way too early in life and it felt like a burden. I do not have a positive association with children. They feel like a hindrance and like a burden and like a financial responsibility and like they are in the way because that is how I was introduced to children. I weep for these older kids. Now, I don't know these people's family. I don't know how popular this show is. I don't know how much money they have. Maybe it's a situation where, you know, they have enough money where they'll have nannies and all that good stuff. And if that's the case, that is perfect. But you not leaving me with all these kids unless you taking unless you taking 7 of them with you. Michelle Witt, I have an excellent connection with my nephew. That's because I get to correct all the wrongs that my parents made with me, but I also get to give him back when I don't want to be bothered. You know, this $1,000 in child support, y'all don't flip upside down. I'm pretty sure that based on how they're splitting the custody and based on how the income is split, the courts found that this was fair, and I'm pretty sure she's fine with it as well. Now, a lot of people in some of the comments were saying the man gay. Again, I don't have no assessment because I've never watched the show, so I can't say one way or another, but it would just seem to me with that many kids that we could buy a house large enough where both parents live on opposite sides of the house and we be there to raise some kids together. You not leave with that many kids, that lady can't even work. I know they go through a washing machine a year. They go through a washing machine a year. They got to be going through a whole washing machine a year. Let me see. Now let me be messy. Now let me do this. Let me see. Let me call Al.
Call has been.
Al.
Yes.
Now you on live, so don't you say you on live. You on live. You on live, okay?
I don't care about.
You on live. What you doing?
Sitting here, man, organizing.
How you
What's
doing?
going on?
How you doing?
You know how I'm doing. I'm doing fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you doing? What you talking about tonight?
Doing my show, and I told the people I didn't have nothing to offer. I said I don't have nothing to offer this conversation because I don't work there no more. And I don't want to be in the middle of it. But I just said we'll just call Al and see how he doing.
Yeah, well, you know, you see what's going on. Ain't nothing changed.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm. So we gonna leave it at that.
We're gonna leave it at that for right now.
We're gonna leave it at that for right now. Okay, I'm gonna call you when I get off.
Okay, sounds good.
Bye.
Thanks for calling.
Bye. Let me call. Let me see. Let me call T.S. Madison real quick.
Hey, Dineva.
Girl, I got you on the thing. How you doing? You live?
I'm all right. What's your deal? Oh, you on the live?
I'm on the live.
Hey.
So hey, everybody can hear you. Girl, I just did the story with you at the Logo Legends thing. With that presentation that Miss Mary gave was so beautiful, friend. And I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, Dineva. I love you. And I really wish you come on move back up here. Because, you know, I really do. I really wish you move back up here because, you know, this home for us color folk. You know, come on back up here.
I'm thinking about it.
Come on now.
I don't know. It's weird though, because at there is just a level of peace that I found coming back to Miami, and I don't want that to be compromised by living in Atlanta and everything that comes along with Atlanta and a whole bunch of color folks and entertainment folks in one space. And that's the thing that's the apprehension that I have about moving back to Atlanta, is just I don't want my peace compromised.
But you the master of your own peace, Dineva. You do know that. And you went down there. And you could have been in a space where you could have been turned all out and whatever. But you went down there and you chose your peace. You chose what was your peaceful place and what was happy for you. You chose that. And you could do the same here. Like, you know, when you came here the first time, you was a lot of turmoil and a lot of shit going on or whatever. I just feel like we as Black folks strive so much better here in Atlanta because, you know, this Black like that. You know, and as much as I go through stuff with my own people or whatever, I'm Black. You feel me? Before I'm any motherfucking thing. And I found so much wealth. I see so much wealth here. I found so much wealth here. I found so much joy being in this space and looking around and seeing everything. You know, and I don't have no problem with nobody that ain't Black. It's just like when you looking around and you see all the wealth and things like that, you don't see it from people that look like you.
That's true.
You really don't see it. You don't see it from people that look like you. And sometimes it gets you in a place where you complacent, like, okay, well, my mind is good here. You know, I got this little thing. And you are so much, I always tell you this when I talk to you, that you're so much greater than, and how you're so important to culture and things. And that, you know, you got so much shit that you ain't done yet that is probably not going to be awarded to you there.
Yeah. I mean, and those are the types of things that are going through my mind. I don't know, like it would probably have to be a soft transition. It definitely is not going to be a just pack all my and move. You know, it's probably going to be, if anything, let me get a small apartment there and start spending 1 week out of the month, which will slowly probably transition into 2 weeks out of the month. And then when it gets to the point where I'm there more than I'm in Florida, if it gets to that point, then maybe I'll pull the trigger. But I would hate to pack all my stuff and move to Atlanta and then be like, see, that's why I left this mess in the first place. And be
well, you
be
go.
ready to
I
move
mean,
back
you
home.
would say that if you would say that if you got and you started doing you were doing what you know, blossom into who you are now. You know what I'm saying? We all go through an evolution period. I mean, even if I came back home to Miami or whatever, you know, it's really my only thing that's done it for me is my family. But here is where I feel so much more connected, you know, here because it's been very successful for me here. And I think the same thing for you too, you know. And I know you look around, you got your apartment over there that's real sickening, but I feel like, Dineva, that you need to be on the property. I remember when me and you went to Dominican Republic and we talked about how we was gonna fly back over there and buy up all them people's shit and just go over there and vacation.
Okay, and we still can do that, baby.
Yeah, we can still do that. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to let's go down there and buy up all them people's shit and then go over there and, you know, and vacation.
And get us some
but
Puerto
I
Rican
think
men.
that Rickon, honey, Rickon. But I think that there where you are now, I am so happy that you started doing Down to the Bar, because I had been blowing in your ear like, girl, you need to be like, this is something that you need to be doing. I really want the best for all of my friends. You know what I'm saying? And as a Black creator and an influence, as much influences that you have, bitch, I really want you to be, and that's not, and then maybe that's not your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you're into your company. Bitch, I want you to grab and be reaching. Like, girl, I want you to be doing all that. It's not many people that it's really not many people that I bond with and things like that. I'm very to myself, and you know that. But bitch, you know, I just feel like that we do great things together. And I really want to see you doing some more hardcore ass shit, bitch.
We'll see, child. But I'm finna I'll call you back. Let me get off this show and finish with these people, and I'll call you back.
Okay,
All
okay.
right, bye.
Okay, bye.
Anyway, y'all, I'm finna get in here and eat. I gotta call Heavenly back because Heavenly called me, but me and her really gonna kick in. She probably gonna start telling all quad business. So I ain't gonna call Heavenly on the thing anyway. But and then to me and Madison, we'll sit in the groove and start talking for a damn hour and be forgetting that y'all be sitting there on the line, been on told all the Hollywood business. So I hope y'all enjoyed tonight's show. And I see y'all tomorrow. Be sure to like and subscribe. Oh, don't forget, pay for your say. Promo code Dineva 125. Y'all know y'all need some extra summer money. Don't forget, Down to the Bar, New Orleans. Y'all better get them tickets. It's gonna be hot. We're gonna have a good ass time in New Orleans, and y'all definitely do not want to miss everything that we got in store. We got some special guests coming through. It's going to be a time. A time is going to be had. And if you feeling real generous, you can go ahead and just cash at me a little something. You know, I might want to go get me a new install, get me a new wig or whatever the case may be. And I'll call y'all later. Bye.